Alright, episode 2, and I went ahead and recruited 2 new characters from the stagecoach. So say hello to Jordy, from Jordy Jordan, the bounty hunter. So he, also has stress faster, so he also won't eat when he is high on stress. So bounty hunters are interesting. They're midway point between the highwayman and the crusader in some ways, or maybe the highwayman and the man-at-arms more accurately. Man-at-arms didn't exist at first. They have collect bounty. This is a bonus damage against a marked opponent. Unfortunately, I can't mark people yet, so I can't actually use the marking ability. But it's a relatively strong attack with a bonus to crit, so it's still useful. Ooh, and bonus damage versus human. That's new. Uppercut knocks an enemy back and stuns them. It's actually more than 100% chance of stunning, which is a big deal. One of the things I like about Bounty Hunter in particular is a lot of the attacks that they have a more than 100% chance of stunning at first. That means that if someone has a 25% chance of stun resistance, a 125% chance of stunning will actually still have a 100% chance of being effective. And that's good news to me. So, Flashbang will stun somebody and shuffle them around, while Uppercut will knock them back two spaces and shuffle them around. Difference is that Flashbang can be used against any enemy, and Uppercut is more of a melee range attack. Then we have Hook and Slice, which is something you can use against some of the back rows for bleeding purposes. He's mostly going to be using Collect Bounty and Uppercut during this run, I believe, because I think I'm going to try to recover Miller a little bit, if for no other reason than to kind of show that mechanic in use and have an excuse to cycle through parties. Then we have Sosny, our secondary Vestal. Just by default, I know I'm going to need more than one Vestal, so I'm happy to just go ahead and recruit one right away. I didn't really plan this out, but I realized that I think Sosny and Ballot Boxer were actually the names of my last 2 Vestals. Oh well. Funny how you can name stuff after your loyal subscribers, and turns out they're loyal subscribers. That means that they might still be around later, and so a lot of the names are people that were here last time around. That's funny. This is still the same session as the first episode, so if you left a comment about getting a name yet, that'll be coming up later potentially when people start dying, or when I start recruiting new characters in like the 4th episode, for example. It'll be a long series, so a little patience is good. Oh cool, so Sosny started out with Divine Comfort, the AoE heal, which makes me happy to have them in the party. Cool. And they have Illumination, which our other character did not have either, I don't think. And it reduces your opponent's chance of dodging, so it's a nice little debuff you can throw at somebody, which is handy. But that AoE heal is also good news. So, let's go ahead and help Miller out here. Work on that stress problem. And then the other person was Ballot Boxer. Are they willing to use the other room? They sure are. I really should look to see if I can upgrade these things. Okay, so increased stress recovery, 4 bust and 4 crust. I mean, we have a lot of those. I can increase it twice. The second one will reduce the cost.
A little hope, however desperate, is never without worth.
So just like that, we're saving 200 this time around when I do this, which is handy. So over time, you'll continue upgrading these with these currencies, which means that it'll cost less to do these kinds of things in the first place. And basically, you kind of reach a tipping point in the economy of this game where certain things are upgraded enough to not cost stuff, and certain things are just finished being upgrading, so you don't have to spend money on them anymore. And eventually, you just suddenly get ahead of the whole money game, and your party's doing pretty well all of a sudden. So it's time to pick a run. Oh hey, they're still requiring us to go into the ruins. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Oh, and the ruins haven't leveled up at all from us doing the last run. The last run must have not counted as progression yet. Huh. I wonder exactly what you do to unlock these other locations now. It's been so long since I originally had to that I actually don't remember what I did. So I'm a little iffy on this one because we don't have a clear melee tank in the front. I'm kind of using 2 rogues and 2 healers, but I think we can make it work. Jordy actually has melee attacks, so I think we can get away with it a bit. So I don't have anyone that can use these items, but this one would do debuff resistance. I may want to throw that on someone like the healer, for example, to avoid them getting Yeah, -2 dodge isn't that big of a deal. I think they already have 0 dodge, yeah. So it's not gonna matter in that aspect, but the debuff resistance will help them avoid getting anything negative on their character. And that'll probably help out. Most other characters have some kind of dodge stat. Let's get started. I'm sure I'll be fine. Is it 18 torches? Interesting. There's actually a limit on how many torches you can bring with you. So everything has a limit on how many you can grab. I don't think that was the case last time. And why do I start with an anti-venom? That's also interesting. That was not a thing before either. Anyway, that's probably too much. 8 food should probably be enough for this run, especially since we were having not much trouble grabbing more stuff along the way. I tend to bring a couple of keys and shovels just because not having them has some negative effects on you. There we go. A few extra torches should help out. We were running low last time, and this party is not the most durable, so let's be prepared.
The Fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
Oh, look at this. So it's another short run. This time we have to do all the room battles. So basically every time you go into a room, there's a chance there may or may not be a battle that's scripted to happen there. And we just need to find all of them and finish them. And since it's all one curvy hallway, we don't actually have any decisions to make as we travel around, aside from whether or not to interact with these sorts of things. I feel like bookshelves are always bad. I'm trying to remember if torches are good or bad with books specifically. Dare I take a look? Nope. Nope, we're off to a bad start. Curses. So immediately... Did I get guilty conscious? There's the crushing guilt of deeds real and imagined. I think that's new. I think that's what I just got. And we're stressed. So yeah, immediately hitting some of the negative effects of touching things. One important thing to realize actually is that unlike most RPGs, it's often smart to just disregard your usual desire to go around touching everything and just leave certain things be because you can get in trouble with them. Do I have herbs? No, I don't have anything really for obvious reasons. Let's not play with the alchemy table. If I had like some fun herbs or something, I might try to use that because you can have some positive effects here and there. Did I just drop that item? Or no, I picked it up correctly. Yeah, we're fine. Hello, guys. How you doing? Oh, we surprised them. Surprising your opponent is handy. It doesn't. I don't think you necessarily rearrange their party when that happens half the time, but it does mean you get a whole extra turn to attack, and I will take that for sure. So let's throw in a stun. What's their stun resistances? Identical across the board, slightly reduced chance of hitting, but if I can stun their ranged attackers, their arbalists, then we have fewer attacks coming in during the early turns, which is plenty handy to me. 4 to 8 damage means we could really do some damage to one of these guys, though the grape shot may be worth it. Yeah. For this big of a group, the combined damage is pretty effective. So I can do collect, bounty, or uppercut. Don't have much reason to be rearranging their party, so I might as well just wail on them.
Press this advantage.
Oh yeah.
Give them no quarter.
This is the type of party where the sheer amount of damage we're capable of dealing is probably going to be enough. Let's throw in some plague.
Well struck.
Yep, that attack is so weak that even the critical only does 1 damage. So now those 2 in the back are taking 4 damage per turn. And they are very focused on my healer. One of the threats of having 2 ranged characters like that is that they can attack your back row, and people like your healer aren't very safe. And that's problematic. Buck bounty.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Unfortunately, we have 2 corpses now, which causes some annoying problems for me. I may finish this guy off. Alright, cool. Unfortunately, the last guy's in the back, which is awkward. 4 damage per round. He has 10 hit points. If I do a plague grenade, he will then have 1 hit point left when his turn happens. So I can't kill him with that character, but I can use Disorienting Blast to try to stun him and remove the corpses. There we go. So now he's going to miss his turn and everyone gets to wail on him, helping to reduce the chance that we actually take any more damage on my precious healer that's just having a bad time today. this early in the fight. And he is down.
Onslaught. Destroy them all.
Oh, hey guys. What? I don't think I've ever walked into a second fight that fast in this game before. That was abrupt. All right. So I could heal, but I would like to try to stop one of them from getting a turn off if I can. Especially one of these tankier guys. Oh, well, that was a wasted turn. Sorry, everyone. An uppercut can mess with their party order if it works. There we go. So now he's stunned and they're out of order. In particular, making the Bone Courier awkwardly in melee range for certain characters. He's one of the characters I like to wipe out early when given the opportunity. Let's see. Disorienting Blast. Yeah. I could keep reducing their ability to move. Oh, they dodged it. Something the Courier in particular is kind of nasty about doing. So his stun wore off, but he might not even have attack. He might not have any attacks that he can use against the from the back row like that. Keeping the AoE strong. Hey, he's down. Oh, nope, he can attack from back there. Okay. Oh, that was an attack that moves him forward one space while he's doing it. Interesting. Rend for the old gods. So he has a skill that gives you a debuff and a bleed, going by those icons, and then stumbling scratch must be that move that made him move forward. There's some useful information on the screen. Oh yeah. Bounty Hunter. Once I used my first Bounty Hunter, I quickly realized they were probably one of my favorite classes. They're really versatile, can attack basically every square on the board, do a ton of damage.
Victory,
Ooh.
but a victory nonetheless.
Bonus chance for bleed skills. Alright. I'll throw that over on you, since you're the one using the most bleed skills, mostly. But basically, yeah, you can treat that as thinking that when that character uses that type of move, their opponent has that much less resistance to that attack. It's really nice if you can get like a bonus to stun chance, for example. Ow. These traps are being rude at the moment, frankly. If you can get a bonus to your stun chance, that's great, because then suddenly you're stunning things that shouldn't be stunned, and it feels fantastic. I think I've stunned inanimate objects in this game before. We still don't really... Dare I try anti-venom? No, I feel like you use anti-venom on food when you find that. I don't think anti-venom's useful for the alchemy table. I could be wrong. But it's good to play it safe sometimes, rather than continually damage yourself. After all, it's a victory of its own kind if you can just get through the entire mission and have nobody at particularly high stress, because that means you save money on not having to pay for anyone to deal with their stress problems. So magnets are usually pretty weak, so I'm going to try to stun the spitter. Yeah, this whole party is pretty weak, actually, so I'm going to go for... Let's do Divine Comfort. I'll just do some party healing here and there, while the more capable party does attacks like this, to start wiping them all out relatively quickly. Hello, you guys. Is there a hit chance difference between these two attacks? Answer is no. Alright, well. Bye. If we get enough attacks, they won't get moves. There we go. Yeah, we're down to 1. Not a grave nibble. Oh, cool. Their one attack missed. That's what all their efforts amounted to. Yay! We got a 2 instead of a 1. Unfortunately, the party heal, that's the best that you can roll with that. But spread across the entire party can be pretty useful.
And driven into the mud.
As a general rule,
Even
the party heal tends to give you more efficient healing if you just from raw like current health of party versus maximum health of party than the single target heal does. But if anyone's at max health, then it's not as effective. And I believe someone was at max health, so I was kind of wasting my time when I should have been single. Oh, there we go. There's a trap. Disarming traps. Okay, so they're specifically telling me about the trap this time. Scout traps visible on the ground. As you approach them, select a hero and disarm the trap. Yep. So we're going to want to look at our characters. And trap resistance 40%. 50%. So as you'd expect, the rogues are better with traps. And the highwayman seems to be the best of all. So we're going to select the rogue, the highwayman. Hey, got lucky. There we go. Successful tasks like that tend to reduce your stress also. So it's just more good news all around. Just a good time for the party. We got, wow. We're hungry twice already. In the original version of the game, I keep wanting to say vanilla, but technically 1.0 is probably vanilla, so this is probably what you would call vanilla at that point. Alright, we just scouted. It's something that can happen randomly when you enter certain rooms. I believe there's a scout chance on the character somewhere, maybe not. Okay, so it's not listed here, but certain items you get can increase your scout chance by specific amounts. Basically, there's a chance based on all your character's stats where every time you enter a new room you might scout. And as a result, we know what's going to happen in this hallway and what the next room is. So there's a battle, there's two openable objects, and then there's a relic room down here. Oh, room battle with Curio. That's very specific. I don't think the tooltip used to tell you that kind of information. Hey, buddy. That guy looks nasty. Probably want to focus on that guy a bit. Let's just get him down as fast as possible so he doesn't keep harming our party. Stun chance. Not very high. Let's go for the back guy just to try to... There we go. Stop him from getting moves in if we can. I could rearrange him, or I could just keep wailing on him. Huh. What's his move resistance? 75%? Yeah. So trying to knock him back 2 spaces is unlikely to succeed anyway, so let's just hit him really hard in the face. Okay, not very hard, but it was something. Oh. That's the kind of AoE damage where it's handy to use AoE healing to counter it. Reduce dodge for 2 characters. Alright. So I can keep stacking bleed, but it's... Ooh. Incision's a very weak bleed, apparently, but it is a relatively high attack by comparison, which is a bit of a surprise. Alternatively, I can do Plague Grenade on these 2, which is a higher amount of damage, with good hit chance. It may be good to start stacking damage on these bat characters, and he resisted it, somewhat nullifying my internal math. Rude. Oh. So he used a knockback of his own, and it was more effective, unfortunately. Let's see. We'll keep stacking that plague. Wow, this guy's resisting non-stop, isn't he? Rude. Okay, well, keep that bleed going. Now he's down to 4 damage per round. He has not that many hit points left, so he won't last much longer. I can use a few more tricks now because I'm not in the front row. The Bounty Hunter is much more versatile when he's not in the front row, but I didn't have another Crusader to take the slot, and I kind of wanted to use him anyway, so... So you're taking 8 damage per turn. If anything happens to you, you're going to be dead next turn. Let's work on you a bit. There we go. They're taking a bleed. Let's see, we're coming up on the last room, but we're not at the last room yet, so I should not give up on healing yet. So we'll keep that going for a bit. They're being rather rude. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. That's some real damage that I don't want happening. At least he's using a nice weak... Oh, that's a bleed. That's a bleed. Do I have bandages? I do not have bandages. I am now regretting not bringing bandages. He has 3 hit points left. He's taking 4 from bleed, so he's dead, basically. Cool, good news. This guy is doing 8 per round, so he's dead. 3 per round, 7 hit points. That guy's not dead yet. I should make that guy more dead. I can't do that attack. Not really... Oh, well, the Plague Grenade. Stacking a dot on him. Yep, now he's 7 damage per round. Yep, everyone's gonna die from their dots. Unfortunately, my party also has dots of their own, and I'm not psyched about. I'm gonna try stunning him instead of killing him. Just because it might give my Vestal a turn before he dies, please. Just let me... Oh, maybe not. Let's switch character positions. Yay, the Vestal got a turn. That gives me some opportunity to heal the party a bit. I'm thinking Divine Grace. Let's help out one of these more injured characters. But yeah, things are currently non-ideal.
Inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue?
Oh yeah, this is bad news. Okay. Who has the least hit points? You have 15, 11, no, oops. 9. Eat up a bit. Who has the most bleed left? 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. So you're all gonna lose 2 hit points to bleeds. Let's do one more heal real quick. That's all the food I have. Now the question is, can I get to the next room without taking more damage? There's the bleeding. Unfortunately, we don't have bandages. Do I use a torch on books, or is that going to be bad for us? Dare I? Well, motherfucker. Motherfucker.
The walls close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to revisit a Wikipedia page that tells me what all the effects are on things. So yes, torches on books can make very bad things happen, as we got an example of here. So his stress immediately got maxed out and he's afflicted now. He's gonna stay this way until we treat him back at base. So his current alignment is paranoia. Not good. His stats all get worse. He might fight me during the fight. All around bad things could happen. I'm done with books. I don't want to touch anything that I can read anymore. We've had a bad day. Ha! You've always thought I was weak. He literally just held back against me using the torch.
The light, the promise of safety.
Alright, so not a good scenario. We have one last fight. The party's injured. Permanent death, once again, is a thing. And now Jordy is paranoid. For all I know, that means he might fight against our actions. And now he's in the back row. That also has some problems of his own. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to mow down their front characters and do what we can here. Instead of party heal, I should single target heal the most injured character. There we go. To get them out of the danger zone. Overall, this isn't the most dangerous pack of enemies, though, so I'm not super worried. Besides feeling like a jackass for that move I pulled earlier. I'm gonna get a comment about that one. Alright. Disorienting blast. Oh, it's such a bummer. Oh, wait. It's a bummer I can't use Plague Grenade from here. You messed me up. But this is a situation where every turn kind of matters, so I think I'd rather go for the attack than... There we go. I'd rather go for the attack than spend multiple turns trying to make up for the difference. 1 to 2 damage plus what? 3 bleed? Collect bounty. Oh, I can do collect bounty from all the way back here. Do a decent chunk of damage on that character. Let's go for it. Let's just try to mow down as many as we can right at the beginning of the fight, severely reducing incoming damage and bettering our party. I knew it. You're with them. Oh, yep. Paranoid characters make other characters more stressful. Really, any resolve. Anytime your resolve is tested and you lose the way Jordy has, it leads to the character shouting things that makes everyone else more stressed out. Meaning, you better hope you're close to finishing the run soon. There we go. Yeah. Just take him out. All right, 2 down. Now the 2 remaining characters are people that mostly stress out your party and aren't necessarily great at actually doing damage. Unfortunately, Sosni's getting really close to having that problem come up, so let's do Disorienting Blast. This will clear the corpses. They both have an equal chance of getting hit, but Courier is more likely to be stunned. There we go. So now one is stunned. They're both in the front row, vulnerable to all sorts of melee attacks. If we can land them. If we can land them is the thing. There we go. Yeah, we should be totally safe as far as keeping my characters alive at this point. Do have to watch for stress, though. If they reach 200%, they die of a heart attack, unless that was changed. But I doubt it was. Alright, yeah, we're safe, more or less. Mistakes were made, but we're safe. So let's go on the attack, just to reduce any more stress that comes our way. There we go, a crit!
Quakes.
Yay! The tiniest bit of stress heal.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Let's see, common, 10% max hit points, -1 speed. That'll be more of a tanky item. So, this armor set, I don't know if it'll heal stress at all. I think it gives you an armor bonus, so it might not help us at all, but I don't think these tend to be bad. Yay, a buff! Aha! 10% dodge, 15% prot. Unfortunately, that will not help us, but I was hoping I might take a tiny chunk out of that stress that I unduly stacked on the character. It did not.
Room by room, hall by hall, we reclaim what is ours.
Look at all them numbers! All them numbers! Ah! Alright, so we got 7,000 gold and 2 busts. Anticlimactic amount of base upgrades, but I'll take it. So even though Jordy's freaking out, he leveled up to level 1 along with Sosny? Yeah, Sosny was the other new character. But it looks like Sosny did not get a new trait. What does Jordy get? The Yips, -5 accuracy. God damn it. Alright, well, that's a good example of one of the ones that I like to hear, because it's really bad for you. Shadow Scythe gets more stress while in the Warrens, but no penalty when walking backwards. Normally, if you're walking backwards in the dungeon, you change your mind and walk backwards, you get more stress. Ulf is also bloodthirsty, so we have 2 of those already. Weird. And bonus scouting in the Warrens. There's good happening, there's bad happening, good
The
moves.
degeneracy of the hamlet is nothing, I fear, when compared to the condition of surrounding acres.
Interesting. Severe negative quirks. Over time, some negative quirks will lock into place and become severe. Severe negative quirks cost much more to remove in the sanitarium. That's also new. That was not in the game originally. Did someone get a severe negative quirk that they're not telling me about? Hang on a second. I assume that it'll have a skull next to it when it's severe. Oh, there it is. So now, the faithlessness of Sosny is severe. So they will not pray or flagellate, and if I try to fix that quirk, it's going to be even more expensive to fix. Not ideal. But hey, now Miller and Ballard have no stress, and 2 new characters do have stress. In fact, those 2 characters have more stress than the people they're replacing did in the first place. So we can sort by level, which is kind of, at this point, sorting by experience. So Shadow Scythe was on both runs, including the intro run, so they have the most experience of the entire party at the moment. And there we go. Alright, so we have some resources here. Where can I put I guess neither of you are especially religious characters. In fact, those both may be more tavern oriented characters. Are you allowed to go everywhere? Yes. You're allowed to go everywhere? Yes. I'm gonna say let's take Jordy to the bar. Can I upgrade the bar to be less expensive or more effective in this case too? Portraits and crests are used here. I can probably get 2 ranks out of that. There we
With
go.
enough ale, maybe they can be inured against the horrors below.
That'll chop it down to a much lower price than some we've paid up till now. And he'll be better soon, I hope. And Sosny. I was looking at Ulf for a second there. That's not even correct. Sosny's the one that needs to heal, and they're one that's likely to come here. And we only get 1 option for her. But I can upgrade the cloister a little bit.
In a robe, claiming communion with the divine.
It's not going to get any cheaper.
Madness.
But it'll be more effective. So we're down almost 2,000 for stress reduction. But I believe we had a net gain since last mission, so we're profiting a bit. And it looks like we're getting some new items. It looks like we're getting the guild and the blacksmith finally, which is good news.
The bellows blast once again. The forge stands ready to make weapons of war.
So blacksmith is great news, because it means I can take somebody like Miller over here, for example. And never mind. Oh, I have to get weaponsmithing up a level. Alright. I need to get more crests. I overspent. I was investing in my ability to reduce my stress cost, and I used up all my crests, so I'm not going to be able to upgrade this place, but once I buy these ranks, that one is just costs? Yeah. So once I buy the first rank using deeds, which we don't have much of either, I'll be able to upgrade the weapons and armor of these characters. So as you can see, there's multiple levels here. You have to get the character up a level, then you have to get this up a level, then you have to buy the ranks of the weapons. So there's a lot of steps here, but once you get the ball rolling, then everything goes smoother and all your characters become more powerful. So it's a good example of what I was talking about when I mentioned before that the game can be more difficult at the very beginning because you just don't have the resources yet.
Make no mistake, we will face ever greater threats. Our soldiers must be ready.
So the alternative is the guild, which allows you to upgrade your stats. This one uses portraits and crests. Crests are used virtually everywhere, so you need to stockpile them quite a bit actually. And using crests, you can upgrade your skills to basically make the numbers better, basically. If you look at the numbers involved in each skill, like the protection bonus here and stuff like that, every subsequent rank will increase those stats incrementally, and usually increase the accuracy also. So every enemy gets better at dodging as you get higher in level, so increasing the accuracy is an important part of staying competitive. Using low at some point, if you get into higher level dungeons and you're using low level skills, you just won't be able to hit people, and that sucks. And you can sit here and unlock new abilities for people as you go. For example, on Ballard here, I'm going to want to unlock Divine Comfort, because I like having an AoE ability for healing. So we're going to go ahead and equip that. It's probably instead of Hand of Light, which is a skill that I don't think I generally use. Yeah, mostly because you have to be in melee range to even use it in the first place. So my go-tos for healers for the Vestals are usually these 4 skills right here. There's a stun, an attack, a single target heal, and a party heal. Illumination also has its merits, but I don't. These are usually what I use for the Vestals. And now they've got the same four skills for both of those characters. Oh no, I don't. Well, I have the 3 core ones anyway for both characters: the 2 heals and the stun. The ones I'm most likely to be using. So that's handy. And if you look at the top of the screen, the preferred position and preferred target actually change. So they basically take what these dots represent for who you can attack and where you can be standing when you attack or use your skill, and they basically stack them to give you this implication of where people are best standing and where their best target would be. Especially with the use of corpses in the current model, that means you're going to want to try to stagger your party so the preferred target is scattered throughout the enemy positions, just to ensure that you're always going to be able to attack every enemy. Or just really rely on a character like this having the ability to clear the corpses, and then just have everyone mow down the people in front. There's a few approaches you can take. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching like always. This has been our first regular run in this game. I'll see you guys next time. And as I get into the right groove of things, these are likely to start moving faster and faster, and well, until the game itself gets longer. See you next time.